Don't stop, go get it,
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of James's Corner. Today, I have a special guest in the cystic fibrosis community. We have here with us Joshua Belief. We have connected on social media, and he's wanted to come on and share his story. He has a very unique one. So, Joshua, I appreciate you being with us today, and thank you for coming on.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So, tell us a little bit about yourself, Joshua. Introduce yourself to the audience
Mm,
and where you're from, what you're doing, and we'll go from there.
gotcha. So, of course, my name is Joshua Ellis. I was diagnosed with CF at 4 months, and I have a younger brother with CF who was diagnosed at uh 2 months. Crazy enough, he got diagnosed before me, but let me think. Right now, I'm not doing too much. I got in a head-on collision in December, so I'm not moving as much as I used to be. But before the accident, I was training to compete in bodybuilding. So that's where most of my energy was going prior to the accident.
I see. I see.
Yes, sir.
So talk to us a little bit about your journey with cystic fibrosis. And obviously, you got diagnosed at 4 months old. So not at birth. What was the situation there where they waited 4 months to get your diagnosis? What happened there?
From what I believe, when my mom told me, the doctors just kept putting it off as new mother jitters
Mm,
because like she'd see the symptoms such as like the crying. I did a bunch of crying as a child, the sweating, the different stuff like that.
mm.
They just saw it as like new mother jitters, and then once they saw that it was pretty much the same symptoms between my brother and I, they said, "All right, let's dig a bit deeper into it," and that's where we figured out what it was.
I see. I see. And what's the relationship with you and your brother? Because that's a unique one. There's a couple siblings with CF in the community, right? They both have the genetic defect. But how was that growing up with a brother with cystic fibrosis? Was it something that kept you guys connected pretty well, or was it something that separated you?
Honestly, it kept us connected wonderfully. Like even to this day, I still find it very interesting how we're able to stay stay keep such a tight relationship because bacteria and whatnot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it helped a lot because like as somebody I could relate to with it.
Right.
Right. Yes,
And
sir.
you have him there because that's the toughest thing about, sometimes the illness. We have nobody to relate to. We feel very
Right.
alone and things like that.
Yes,
So
sir.
what got you into bodybuilding from having
Mm.
CF and getting into bodybuilding? What made you kind of go down that road?
Due to me being small, once I hit high school, I was like, I need to find a sport that's gonna put muscle on me because I just want to be bigger than this. So
Hmm.
I started wrestling in high school. I wrestled all through high school, and then from there, with me working out and whatnot, after I graduated, I just kind of picked up a random interest. Picking up, watching influencers like David Lade or Sebum.
Hmm.
They really influenced me to start lifting weights and getting big, and it really just struck from there, man. I got stuck doing it.
Yeah. And you fell in love with it, I'm guessing, right?
Yes, sir.
And share a little bit about like how tough it is to build muscle, how tough it
Oh
is to
man.
go and seek out a bodybuilding competition with an illness that is
Right.
makes it harder for you to gain muscle. Can you share that with us?
Very much so. It's a lot of eating. I promise you that.
Yeah,
A
yeah.
whole lot of eating. Honestly, the main thing I really noticed with me doing it was just I grew slowly.
Hmm.
I think the way that I tempered my body to handle that exert of energy kind of it helped me along the way, of course. But yeah. As far as the recovery and whatnot, everything was kind of kind of normal for me, but definitely growing. That was hard for me, man. It's hard.
Yeah. So getting yourself to when you started bodybuilding, what weight were you at when you started?
Um, After graduation, I probably started bodybuilding at like 125, 130. And then the heaviest I got before the accident was 160 at most. And that's 2, almost 3 years after doing it.
And were
And
you
that's all I could
natural? Were
get.
you natural? Did you do it
Oh,
naturally?
100%. Yes,
Okay.
sir.
It's good to know because I like to ask because we never know. There's a lot of stuff going
Right,
around now. And, steroids are a big thing in bodybuilding.
right.
It's a huge
Yes,
thing.
sir.
So it's only a matter of time. And I'm guessing you were doing physique.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Got you. So Josh, tell us a little bit about like the hard times with cystic fibrosis, what you lean on, what some of your habits are to deal with the pain and the darkness of cystic fibrosis. Maybe share some of the stuff that you and your brother had to go through together. Just dive a little bit deep into that for us, would you?
Right. So personally, due to me being having that lack of size growing up, I got bullied a bunch in school. And
Mhm.
that's apart from the coughing and whatnot that I went through. But me me diving into wrestling, going into high school, it really like catalyzed my lungs being a lot healthier and stronger. So
Yeah.
that's something I found very helpful for me. But just that underlying feeling of the risk of better words, kind of feeling less than because of it, and
Right.
knowing that I had all this stuff going on internally that a lot of people wouldn't even recognize from the outside, besides my size.
Hmm. Yeah. So
Yeah,
people
right.
can't really understand. You feel a little bit different than everybody, right?
Right. Yes, sir.
And when you're going through those times, what helps you get out of that? Like what do you have habits or practices that you use for yourself?
Um, honestly, it was kind of just my brother
Mm,
because we both had it, and because like we both knew like the struggle we were going through. We would sometimes come together like, yo, let's knock this treatment out together,
right.
just to kind of give us some moral support doing it.
Yeah. So
Yes, sir.
you kind of have a teammate a little bit.
Right. Yes, sir.
And what do you do now for work? And as you've gone on,
Mm.
are you on Trikafta? How is your health now? What do you feel like now?
All I'm doing right now is the carry on my enzymes,
Mhm.
trikafta, and then the breathing treatments. Because I'm not because of the crash, I'm not able to be as active as I was. So my cardio is declined a bunch, but to keep my lungs at top shape until I get back into it, I'm doing my treatments like and trikafta more consistently.
I see.
I do admit, due to me doing so much cardio and strengthening my lungs manually, I did for a long time back off of doing the treatments and whatnot. But now that like I can't do that, I'm
Yeah.
definitely putting that forward.
I think we've all been there too. We
Yes,
all
sir.
kind of neglect ourselves in some ways too. It's a little bit maybe we can become angry with the illness and not want to
Right.
follow along with all the steps that we have to take. So you mentioned
So,
you're on Trikafta, right? How long you been on Trikafta for?
ooh, year and a half, maybe? Yeah, about a year and a half.
And how is that going? How's the process?
Oh,
Any side
it's
effects?
beautiful.
Anything happen to you?
Oh no, it's been a beautiful. Of course, we go through that purge period after
Hmm.
about a week or two with it, where
Yeah.
you all that stuff is trying to come up. But after that, like I could tell once my body got acclimated with it, my lungs would be healthier, my weight would start kicking in easier. Yeah, I mean it's a beautiful product to me.
Yeah, so it saved your life and helped you in a lot of
Yes,
ways.
sir.
Yeah, me
Definitely.
too. Yeah, that's been my experience with it too. I just interviewed somebody yesterday who they had to get off Trikafta because of
Mm,
they had like I don't know if you've been paying attention to the side effects that a lot of people are having. They're having a lot of mental health issues with it,
wow.
a lot of depression, not being able to sleep, insomnia, things like that. I thank God haven't had that, but a lot of people in the community have had to get off Trikafta because of that. Have you had any side effects like that happen to you?
No, that's actually my first hearing of it, honestly.
Yeah, yeah, it's interesting. And I've been on Trikafta now for 4 years.
Mm.
When you got on Trikafta, what was your lung function?
I had to remember probably around my medium was like mid 70s, low 70s, maybe.
Okay, and what's the lowest
Right.
that you've been?
Uh, mid 60s, low 70s. I think that was
That's
kind of
the
where I
low.
sat for a while. Yes, sir.
Okay, and so that's not that's not terrible. That's not
Right.
terrible. You got lucky there a little. What about your brother? Is he in the same boat as you?
Honestly, his has always been higher. His like
Really?
even before he got into fitness and whatnot, his was always mid high 80s, almost 90s.
Got you. Oh wow, so he's very
Right.
healthy.
Yes,
That's
sir.
very lucky. Is he on Trikafta too?
Yes, sir.
Same. You guys got on it about the same time.
Right. I think so. Yeah.
I see. So you mentioned a car accident. Talk to us a little bit about what kind of happened there.
Honestly, if I had to tell what happened, I'm not sure. I've no luckily I don't remember the day at all, so there's no trauma at all involved. But
Hmm.
because um because I had like extensive brain damage and whatnot, I was in a coma for about 3 weeks.
Oh
And then
wow.
after that, yeah, I got tore it, man. I shattered my left kneecap, broke my right ankle, and kind of like if if I had to explain it, ripped my left arm in half. So that's another
Oh
reason.
wow, let me see. Let the audience see your arm. I want to see that.
Here's the scar, man. I could probably
Oh
find a
wow.
picture on my phone real quick.
Oh my
But
gosh.
yeah, man.
What
But
happened?
I'm really not sure. I just
You
just
were
woke up and
you were
heard it was a
driving and then
crash.
you woke up?
I honestly don't remember the day at all.
And was it a head? You said it was a head-on collision. So somebody
So,
ran, you guys ran into each other on, and how
yeah,
fast were you going?
no telling.
So you just got into that. Did they come into your lane or how did this all play out? Did they tell you after or?
From what I heard, I may have crossed lanes, but I'm not sure, honestly. I'm not too sure.
Mhm.
But from from the information I got, the people involved, they were fine or at least able to recover. I'm grateful for that.
Okay, so everybody ended up being okay in the end.
Yes, sir.
And were you by yourself in the car?
Luckily, I was.
And so you woke up and you were in a coma for 3 weeks.
Right.
And when you woke up out of the coma, do you remember anything while you were in the coma?
Um, not no, sir. No,
No,
no, no.
you
I
just
have
woke
like
up.
brief memories of like random people that I might have seen in the hospital, but I was due to the brain damage, I was just making stuff up. I was
Wow.
I remember my mom telling me after I woke up, I was telling her that I was going with my brother somewhere, and I was kind of panicked because I was like, "Yo, is he okay?"
Yeah, yeah.
But she says he wasn't with me at all.
So you
So luckily
thought that he
for
was
that,
with you, and when you woke up, you thought that he was with you.
right,
And when
right,
you
yes,
woke
sir.
up, when you woke up from the coma, explain to us like what was going through your mind and how that experience was. Like, what were you feeling?
Um, I I vaguely remember it, but I know my mom. She would tell me that I was angry at her because she would tell me that when I woke up, she told me I've been in the hospital for weeks, and I was like, "Yo, why didn't you tell me?" She was like, "You've been asleep, Josh."
Wow.
So I was angry at her for a little second just because I was like, "Yo, there's so much I could have been doing."
And why? Right,
You
right.
know what I mean,
And your
man?
mom must have been pretty scared and terrified.
Oh, definitely. But with her and her just the faith she had, she kept me in very high spirit through the entire operation.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about that.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.
what is your mom's faith and what do you attribute that to? Like, obviously you made it out of this alive, thank God. But when you got out of it, what your mom did she explain to you like what she's been praying for you, or how did that all go?
And my entire life, my entire family has been we've been Christians, so we follow that we've been following the path for as
Yeah.
long as I can remember. And just keeping that faith and trusting that no matter how it looks, it will work out. And
Mm,
I recall like she would tell me that she would tell me that when I woke up, one of the first things she remembered me telling her was I was like, I would tell her that God, he figured it out for me up to this point. Why wouldn't it work out for me now?
yeah, amen. Amen to
Even though,
that.
yes, sir.
Absolutely. So what do you attribute to like you okay, so you've been through quite a bit. You were diagnosed with a chronic illness at young age. Now you're how old are you now?
21.
You're 21, so you're still very young. So you've been diagnosed with this illness, you've overcome the illness, you've got into health and fitness, and then all of a sudden you get into this major car accident.
Right.
And then God brings you through that as well, and then brings you to the other side of it. And I'm a man of faith as well. I'm a Christian as well, so I'm on the
Yes,
same
sir.
page as you. Isn't it interesting sometimes when God takes us away and just makes us sit down, and then we have to understand that He's in control. Like you said, He's always been there for you in the past, so why wouldn't He be there for you now?
Right.
So speak a little bit about like how your faith has affected you through all this
Mm.
hardship. Because I mean, for me, through my hardship, my I've been in positions in my life where the faith is the only thing I can really lean on at the end of the day.
Right.
And I'm sure that if you get into a major car accident, you have a chronic condition, and you come on the other end of it, you're probably thinking like, "Wow, God has His hand on me." So
Right.
talk a little bit about your faith and how that's come into play with through all your life.
Yes, sir. Honestly, it's helped me stay very hopeful, stay motivated through the entire thing because me having such an active history prior to the accident, I
Yeah.
know that was one of the things that was a very like not hard, but tough transition for me. being like as being the workout guy to being
Yeah.
on paper the cripple.
Wow.
So that was very interesting for me. And honestly, it's just going through that entire thing has been motivating for me because like even as a child, I would have never seen myself being as muscular as I had gotten at the before the crash. But that transition from being the skinny guy to
Mhm.
being the gym guy, the workout guy, the personal trainer, to then so that would really catalyze me trusting this whole ordeal in itself.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
part of
sir.
your path and journey. So,
Right.
yeah, wow, that's incredible. And thank God you made it out on the other side. And now you have this story to tell. And have you been able to get back into the gym and work out, or it's been a bit tough for you now since the accident?
Not tough necessarily, just the goals are a bit different.
Mm,
So because I had to like because I had two like major joints of mine, well, three major joints of mine kind of shattered. It's working towards building the strength in the joints back as
right.
instead of the muscle like I've accustomed to.
How long ago did this happen?
Happened in December,
Okay, so it's only been about 8 months.
right? And they told me it was a 6 month. It would take me 6 months to like fully heal, but I got out of the hospital within 3 months.
Oh, wow. So you
Yeah,
were in the hospital for 3 months?
right. Yes, sir.
And during that time, what was that like? What was your experience like in the hospital? What are some of the thoughts that you had when you were in the hospital bed for 3 months?
I joke about it with my family because, of course, my brother having CF and my sister actually having sickle cell, we've been in and out of the
Wow.
hospital our entire lives, and I could say that me this specific this specific time in the hospital was the worst visit to the hospital we've had.
Wow.
Yeah. It was not even the worst as in like it was a bad visit. It was just it was so different from what we're used to because the other times you're going to the hospital, they're working
Mm,
on lung functions and whatnot.
right.
Now I have people cleaning up after me because I can't get out of bed and use the restroom. So
Wow.
it was a strange transition, but it's one that had to happen.
Wow. That's so you have CF, your brother has CF, and your sister has sickle cell?
Yes, sir.
That's quite the trio, huh? Any other siblings?
No, sir. That's it.
Does CF or sickle cell run in any other part of your family? Any of your any uncles, aunts, grandparents? Do they have anything like that, or is it just you three?
Not that I know of. It's just that somebody has the trait apparently
Interesting.
passing that
So,
around.
so does that kind of bring you guys closer together as siblings? Because you guys kind of all have something that you're battling on a daily basis. Can you
Oh,
speak a little bit
definitely.
about how that's like kind of strengthened your guys' relationship over the years?
Let me think. Let me think. Just that subconsciously knowing
Yeah,
that we all like even apart from us, everyone has their own struggles, whether it's seen or not. Everyone is going through something,
right.
and just coming to the realization that the go-to cliche quote, God gives us toughest warriors is the hardest battles.
Right, right.
Right.
And that's what you feel like has happened in your life.
Definitely. Yes, sir.
I see. And is there anything like in your life right now that you're trying to accomplish or moving towards, or is this just a part of your life where you're kind of just figuring it out and after everything that's happened, you're kind of just letting the dust settle a little bit?
It's definitely a transitional period for me, but just those small goals of mine, like getting my energy back right, getting my spirit back right,
Mm,
getting my discipline and whatnot, my mental back right because of the brain damage and whatnot. I've realized that there are some different trials I have to go through mentally that would have been easier for me prior to, but just like anything, it's something I could work on.
yeah. So this affected your brain, this accident.
Yes, sir.
And what exactly happened to your brain?
I think, well, if not too many things directly that I can point out,
Mhm.
but I know the one thing I have noticed because me and my family now we've sang all our lives. That's one of our family things. It
Singing?
has singing, yes sir, and it has it. Strangely enough, it knocked out some of like some of my singing ability. I would have
Really?
never thought something like that would happen. Right?
Interesting.
Yes, man.
And
Man.
so are you still able to sing or it's just you have a tougher time?
Um, I attribute it to the brain damage, but somewhat is the tubes or whatnot they had
Mm,
in my throat so I could breathe after the accident directly.
mhm.
But my voice, my singing voice has diminished, not completely, but very a lot. It's a
Wow.
very high
Wow.
amount. Yes, sir.
What about has anything else affected you? Are you able to think as clear? Is your mind like what else happened? Anything or just the singing?
Um, from what it seems to me, it seems like I can think the same. I know. I've noticed that my convers I don't speak as thoroughly as I did before.
Right.
Right. But other than that, not too much. It's just and memory, of course.
Ah.
Yeah, my memory is horrible right now, but it's nothing.
And is that did they say that maybe that's going to get better or this is like a permanent thing?
Definitely getting better. I noticed that even my stay in the hospital, my memory has gotten better since I woke up to the time I left. So
Oh
that's
wow.
I'm
Okay. So
thankful for
it's
that.
improving. It's improving.
Yes, sir.
So your mom has been through quite a lot then, huh? Because she has
Definitely.
3 children with, all chronic illnesses. You got into a car accident. Are your parents still together?
No, sir.
No, okay. And is your dad in the picture?
Uh, he stays at a state, but yes, but not really.
Gotcha. So most of the time it's just your mom takes care of you guys.
Yes, sir.
And what does your mom do?
She sells insurance for American Family Insurance.
I see.
Yeah. And luckily, she was able to they would have had to hire somebody to be my caretaker once I left the hospital.
Wow.
And luckily for us, she was able to take that role and just practically get paid for being my mother. So we're thankful for that.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you opening up and talking a little bit about what happened to you.
Yes, sir.
I know it's tough to be vulnerable and things like that. Is there anything that you want to touch on, Josh, before we go?
Let me think. Let me think. Let me. If there's anything that as like kind of pops in my head every now and then, where would I like find any like I guess social groups or anything to speak to people with CF or like speak to people with that have been through these like these tragic accidents or whatnot.
Yeah, so you're looking for some sort of community to get
Right.
involved in.
Yes, sir.
I what I did, I'll just talk. This is all I know. I can just tell you from my experience. I reached out to everybody has a Cystic Fibrosis Foundation chapter in their state or their county or whatever it is. What I would do is maybe research the closest one for you. You can find them on the website. If you just go to the cffoundation.com, you can find different communities. What I did, just start speaking a little bit, maybe more on your social media and just start getting people to connect with you and build that community. And you're looking for some support and some relatability maybe in the community, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. And, yeah, absolutely. It's just, you have to kind of reach out. I know it is kind of a little bit tough, but yeah, that's what I would recommend for you. Find a local chapter. That's what I did. I wanted to get more involved and advocate for the illness and tell my story. And it was a journey. It's a journey, but it takes
Yes,
time.
sir.
But you just got to get yourself involved, throw yourself in the fire, be vulnerable, share what you feel, and it'll come to you.
Gotcha. Yes, sir.
Is there anything else you want to touch on? Anything you want to talk about before we go?
Yeah. I think that kind of wraps it up for me, man.
Okay. Is there any questions you want to ask me? I know I always ask this because I know the CF
Um,
stuff is very interesting and we can discuss a lot of things about it.
right. Would you say it was a before you got into fitness and whatnot, was it a drastic difference in like your health, whether that be lung function, weight gain, or anything of that nature before fitness and after fitness?
Absolutely. I got into fitness. I've always played sports, right? So sports, I played soccer my whole life, but soccer kind of got taken away from me because of my lungs. I couldn't run back and forth. I was going to play collegiate soccer, but I couldn't because my lungs wouldn't handle. So I got into lifting weights when I was 17 years old. I'm 31 now. So I've been in the gym 6 days a week since I was 17 years old. The only time I ever took off is when I was really sick. Even when I was sick, I would still be in the gym pushing
Right.
myself. But the drastic, yeah, absolutely. Like when I started in the gym, I was 165 pounds, 160 pounds. I'm 240 pounds now. So this took me, 12 years of consistency, 12 years of trial and error, figuring out what CF even was, figuring
Right.
out how to move around it and what I'm even dealing with here. But the gym has saved my life in so many ways, not just physically, but also mentally, emotionally. It's my therapy. It's something that I do as a part of my day. I'm sure you can understand this.
Yes, sir.
But I would just recommend just to stay in that and find love for it, because that can save your life. I mean, muscle is like a barrier to our body. So
Yes, sir.
the more muscle that we build, the stronger that we are. The muscle helps fight infection, it helps fight disease, it helps fight everything. So, just I would recommend just staying in the gym and just keeping that. I mean, I'm sure that's easy for you because it seems like you have a love for it,
Oh,
especially if you're into bodybuilding.
yes,
But
sir.
but yeah, so that's what I would recommend. It's just consistency, man. Like
Right.
anything. Consistency. Um, Never give up on yourself. Always have hope. Don't lose that drive and things like that, because things can get in the way in our lives and we can lose that hope and that drive. It can knock us off track. But the
Yes, sir.
gym keeps me in that. The gym will keep me in that. And yeah, so that would be my answer. I know that I asked you to bring a quote before off camera. We spoke a little bit. I like to have my guests bring a little, maybe a quote that means something to them or that they live by. Do you have that with you, Josh?
Yes, sir. It's actually the day you told me to not think of one, to find one.
Yeah.
I kind of just sat with it for a second, and one just kind of popped in my head.
Okay,
So if
let's hear it.
somebody has said this before, I'm not too sure, but let me see. Let me find it. I got it in my notes. Let me see. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, it's okay for your life to have lows. Even the petals on a flower lower after they bloom, but it
Mm,
doesn't change it from being a beautiful flower.
amazing. I love that. And
Yes, sir.
what connection do you have to that quote? Like, why did you pick that one?
Just through your trials of life, honestly, man, it may seem that either circumstance or whatnot, you know, takes some aspects of yourself away from you,
Mhm.
but it doesn't change you from being you. Like though I don't have my muscles anymore due to the accident, it doesn't change me from being Josh.
Right, right. So
Right,
sometimes we can kind of identify with we're the gym guy, we're the
right,
muscle guy, and that is our identity, but we have to realize that we're just human and that's just a part of us.
right. Yes, sir.
Absolutely. Well, Josh, I really appreciate you coming on. I appreciate you sharing your story and
An honor,
sharing
man.
what happened to you. And I'm glad that you're okay. And hopefully, God keeps blessing you in your life, keeps you healthy. Where can people find you? Tell the audience, give them your social media handles where they can find you. And if you have anything big coming up, any projects that you want to share, feel free.
Um, my Instagram handle is simply belief, Simply, belief, Belief. That's my middle name. I'm not doing too much on there right now. I'm just kind of trying to translate how this healing is going for me, and I might start journeying, other aspects of my life as well. So if you're interested, stay in tune for that.
Awesome.
Other than that, that's really it. I'm only on Instagram for right now.
Awesome. Anything else you want to share before we go?
Just just keep being great, stay beautiful, and it's gonna work out, man.
Awesome. I appreciate it.
Thank
Well,
you.
Josh, thank you for coming on. Thank you, everybody, for listening. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we will see you all next week.